Hi, this is Ruth McLeod with Stories from the ER, and thank you for watching these. And also, if you would like a written and they're a little bit more serious, you can go to the blog, which is Ruth McLeod, MCLEOD, .tumblr, TUMBLR.com, and that has a whole bunch of stories in there. I worked in a hospital that was a new hospital connected to an older hospital. And the only thing that was in the older hospital that was being used was the psych lockdown. And so we actually had the only lockdown in that county. And so there were some pretty needy people in there as far as like needing psychiatric help. And the one thing that there in the old ER was the overhead system. And so the kids would break into the old ER and party and mess around. And so one night, the security guys caught these kids that were messing around in there. And so they thought that they would give them a scare. And so they turned on the overhead and they were like yelling, "We're going to get you. We know who you are. We're going to fuck you up. We're going to do this and that." Well, what they didn't realize was that the only place where that's what was tuning in, besides in the ER, is it was going into the psych ward. It wasn't going anywhere else into the new hospital, but because the psych ward was in the old hospital, that what they were saying on the overhead system was going right into the psych hospital or the psych ward. And so all of a sudden, all of these psych patients started thinking that they were hearing voices and that people were coming to get them. And it was a really actually a big blunder that caused a bunch of paperwork, because for when you're in the lockup psych ward in an acute hospital, for them to give you medicines to subdue you, you have to get a court order. And so that was in the middle of the night, and they had to wake up a judge and get a court order. And all of these paranoid schizophrenics were sure that there were people after them because of these guards going over the overhead and saying that they were going to get them. And it was actually a very big deal. And there were a lot of meetings that I had to go to over that. But it was kind of funny. And they actually took out that system fairly soon. Anyway, I am going on vacation. I will film again in about 4 or 5 days. I'm going to go to see some baseball and see some concerts with my friends. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you the next time. Bye bye.